Pow Wow, yo, yippee, yay, guys. Power number 40, and I'm super excited to be with you guys today. As always, we'll dive into the love of the community, then talk about what is happening on the markets, and talk about how SwissBorg network is evolving each week with the airdrop of Aleph, the airdrop of other different things, talking about the Guardians of the Borg, and of course, the new alpha opportunity. As guys know, my name is Cyrus Fazel. I'm the proud founder and CEO of SwissBorg, always here to serve you. Before starting, we stick with the community and we say, what about EigenLayer? As you guys know, EigenLayer is one of the hottest DeFi project for restaking your Ether. Some people have been eligible to get actually EigenLayer tokens, even if no one can get them. So for the season 2, we don't know exactly how it's going to deal yet. We're waiting for confirmation if we're eligible or not. So we'll let you know. And thank you very much for the question. Okay, now let's talk about macro. Let's talk about what is happening. This week, it's all about the CPI that is going to figure out if inflation is hitting or not, the jobs as well. But if you look more into the perspective, we could see very much that the trend right now is a bit hard to see, right? We know that next week, the Fed's going to cut rates. But people don't know where to position themselves. You know, are we going for the banana, right? The banana thing, which is the inflation of everything and printing money and going all into stocks and high quality assets. And some people are like, oh, we're in a recession. I'm pretty bullish. The reason is that when you cut rates, there's just one way to play it. What I know is recessions do not happen anymore because, again, to some extent, the Fed and other central banks players, they play it really smartly now. What we know is September is definitely never a great month, but October and November are usually very good ones. And October, now with the cuts being fed, the rates being cut, well, probably we're going to have we're going to revisit, I think so, at least over 60,000 as we're seeing right now. Will we go to the right away 69,000? That's something to be seen within this month and with Bitcoin. But I believe that October, November, especially if Trump gets elected, we're gonna discover new highs right now. What we have to understand is why Bitcoin is not imploding and going to the going to the moon yet. Is that a lot of big sellers have happened. There has been over 200,000 Bitcoins that have been sold through the German government, Mongox, US government, and Genesis Trading. That's a big amount of money. That's $10 billion that has been sold this year. And despite that, the resilience of Bitcoin is just amazing, right? And now if you look at the inflows of essentially of the Bitcoins, especially ETF, you see that inflows are growing steadily. It really has grown in a very nice way to, you know, roughly 18 billion for just one of those beautiful for the ETFs of Bitcoin. And here what we have to see that is that there's been positive inflows that happen. Obviously the biggest was in the first quarter because this is when it was new, but we still see a very big amount essentially of inflows that happen in July too. So overall, what we have to understand is, if we look at this graph here, is that if you look at the right side first, the concentration of the 10 biggest holders in IBIT, which is one of the main BTC ETF owned by BlackRock, is that less than 10 biggest essentially investors, holders, don't represent more than 10% of the entire holding, 20% of the entire holding. So that means that 80% is held by a lot of people. And I think so this is something that's very healthy. You see, you know, you have some big whales like, you know, hedge fund manager, I think so it's Millennium. It trades a lot, goes in and out with the quantitative strategies. And that's probably 8% of that. And that's a huge position that they have. But overall, it's something that you see more and more people coming in, and that's extremely, extremely healthy. What you see as well is that they have diamond hands. Most of these investors are down, right? They bought, you know, Bitcoin around like 65,000 probably, and they're actually really down on the average estimates. And when you saw like massive, you know, huge amounts of dips that have happened in the month of August or whatsoever, there's no sales that really happen. And that's something that is very, very nice to see. We see that essentially institutional investors and the TradFi guys, let's put it that way, are actually buying into Bitcoin as a long-term play for most of them. Maybe not for this hedge fund manager, but at least for the rest of it, which is really, really good. And you see here that the average size right now, which is very big for example, with the main ETFs, you see it's extremely, extremely small actually for Bitcoin itself. So I think so. This is something that again really shows again that you have a lot of people that are coming more and more into the Bitcoin, and that's a great thing overall. Talking about markets, we're having a good day today. We see a little theme happening here, which is Aiden Blur. Finally, some NFTs are coming back for the Ape saga. Obviously, this is Ape token, which is, if you guys remember, was the token that was created for all the apes that Bored Apes started, and then after the mutants and whatsoever, then people got dropped these apes. You're able to buy lands and whatsoever with these ape tokens. And essentially, why is this pumping right now? There's a really cool thing happening, which is for the Ape Bored Ape Metaverse project, is that you'll be able to be eligible if you have the Bored Ape and a Mutant Ape and a certain amount of tokens, you'll be eligible to get some cool swag. So a lot of people are very excited about that. They really want to get some swag, and I think SwissBorg, with this one, which is very nice. Obviously, we should do really special, really nice merch that's quite difficult to get. And talking about what is difficult to get is some airdrops, and very, very excited to see that Aleph is coming to be listed on SwissBorg. And we're going to get airdrops with that. And long story short, Aleph, what it is, the open source cross-chain network featuring decentralized database storage for computing and indexing. So the really nice thing about this is obviously the deepen story that we're pushing more and more, that helps dApps in general and protocols to get really decentralized, right? This is the best thing what it is. So this is how the infrastructure layer could enable finally people to have decentralized clouds and whatsoever. The great thing about Aleph, we'll have actually a talk tomorrow, so I'll be talking more about that. And people have asked this in the thread is, today, by staking Borg tokens, you are eligible to grow your Borg rank. By being able to eligible to grow your Borg rank, you get all of these beautiful essentially tokens have been airdropped to you guys, and these are great projects. So this will continue in the future. So there is a strong utility of being able to stake your Borg with SwissBorg and then get these beautiful airdrops. I think so. This is for CryptoCG, of course, that asked that question. New alpha opportunity. Very excited about this one. It's about Moemate. Moemate is definitely one that I think so brought me a lot of curiosity around it. Really being able to bring that Web 2 things to the Web 3, how these AI agents will enable you to entertain you or to teach you how to get better in chess, get better in checkers, better as a comedian whatsoever. And I think so this is something that's definitely something extremely interesting. I like very much the team. I like the thesis behind it. I like the product. It has a huge amount of community, and we really hope for this occasion we're going to have much user that'll be downloading the SwissBorg app and participating in this alpha deal that will happen actually after tomorrow on Thursday. Welcome back, and this is great news too. It is welcome back to DeFi. You guys have asked in the last comments, how do you get to be the best wealth management app is having more earn strategies. Well, we're listening to you, of course. There's going to have a new partnership that we have with Morpho, and the risks actually is managed by Gauntlet. And this is a new way to be able to get exposure to USDC through essentially Morpho. And Morpho, if you guys don't know, it's a lending protocol that enables people to segregate a different type of assets in order to borrow and lend, and obviously be able to compound those interests. So this is a very interesting one. It will be a single digit type of return. I think so 4 or 5% for now, but these things evolve as, DeFi picks up, of course. So this is really cool. There'll be different camps. There'll be different releases to the Pegasus camp and the 100K more camp. Then there'll be to going to the other camps itself. The higher the camp, the more you can deposit, obviously, and the more you'll be able to be eligible for these different camps. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy this. 4 million is going to be the size that we're going to bring to the SwissBorg users, and this will happening actually today, right now. Guardians of the Borg, one of the most important thing of the month, as always. I just want to break down the results of the 12th session that happened. So 18% is going to the safe. So 4,000 plus people were eligible for the rewards. So again, this is a yield. If people want a yield, this is a good way to get a yield. 4,122 people have participated. The total pool size is 750,000 Borg for this month. There's going to be 18% that go to the safety net. 1/3 that will go to a yield. So let's essentially 250,000 that will go to these 4,000 in terms of yield. So that means 250,000 divided by 4,000. That is, wow, I'm really off with this one, but that is 200, 100. Oh, shish. I'll take my calculator.
A few moments later.
So, going back to what I was saying, 401,000 divided by 250,000, that goes to rewards. So that makes roughly, I just did it with the calculator, I just forgot about it. It's 60 Borg per person, which is not too bad. For this month, of course. Then there's 28% that will be burned, and the option 4 is to make a new advertisement out of it. So that's really cool to see what's going to be. And if you want to know more about this, Thursday, we have the beautiful Borg with Benji. They'll be talking about exactly what's happening and perhaps some new initiatives for the next one. Borg and some data. Things are not looking, they're looking okay, but not great. Only 144 people that have upgraded, or got into premium. Similar to what's happened on SwissBorg app, there is weekly active users, but trades are not huge. And in terms of inflow, a little bit better than last week. Most probably due to the Vala. And a number of KYC is still a bit shy of 1,000 people, unfortunately. Brazil's community index, same score pretty much than last week, a little bit lower due to the social media and invitations, which gives us a 5.2. Beautiful Borgers. Look, I think that this is very important, and I did this same exercise internally, is how we become SwissBorg, the optimal wealth management ecosystem. How does our app empower the next million users, Borgers, to become financially free? And, when it goes to wealth management, there's definitely a lot of products that should be built. But the missing element to the products is have a service to be able to accomplish your dream, to accomplish your financial goals, to be able to converse and to finally manage your wealth in the best way possible. As you go, right now with SwissBorg, it's an execution platform with different layers, from payments, from, the smart engine and the trading that goes with that, to the earn, to the thematics, to eventually the alpha opportunities. And hopefully we'll get to the 6th layer and 7th layer, which is tokenization and mandates. But now if you look at the number 7, right? The mandate, we have execution. How are we able to pass into advisory? Be able to, with you, build those financial goals and maybe try to help you to reach them. And I think so this is something that's very important. I always say, try to write down what is your financial goals on the short run, what is your financial goals on the long run. And with that, what do you need to get to there? If you deposit, let's say 5,000, euros per year, will that suffice to get to your financial goals or not? If not, maybe it's 20,000, maybe it's 30,000, maybe it's 50,000, or maybe it's just 1,000. But I think so these questions are exactly where I would like to bring us, because we could have, of course, a lot of things that could, look better in terms of products, user experience, add, desktop, and be able to add new things to invest in a better way. But I think so what was missing for me is the service part. So obviously we have a lot of things in the roadmap as we speak. Just as you potentially could know, the thing that I've been waiting for a long time is being tested in a very cool way. Won't say what it is, but you could guess it. And I'm very, very excited about this month of September. As always, be wealthy, be healthy, love our boring iniquity. Take care, guys. Much love.
Thank you for watching our weekly Pow Wow episode. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to leave a like. And if you didn't, tune in next week anyway, so that you can figure out if it's better then. Bye!